The isomnous horizon hummed a lullaby of distant stars, a vibration so subtle it was more felt than heard, a constant companion to Ilara's every breath. But tonight, even the ship's gentle thrum couldn't coax sleep to her eyelids. She lay in her bunk, nestled deep within her personalized sleep pod, watching the simulated starfield flicker across her cabin ceiling. Each pinprick of light, theoretically a distant sun, felt too sharp, too insistent. "Ilara, your biorhythms indicate heightened neural activity," a soft voice murmured, materializing from the air itself. It was Nyx, her lull-a, designed to anticipate and soothe. Nyx's voice was like warm gravity, a comforting weight in the vast emptiness of space. Ilara sighed, a tiny puff against the cool, recycled air. "I know, Nyx, I just can't. My mind keeps spinning like a rogue asteroid." She pushed herself up, leaning against the plush headrest. Her cabin, usually a sanctuary of soft blues and greens, felt suddenly too small, too contained. Beyond the holographic viewport, the true void beckoned, a darkness so profound it swallowed light and thought alike. "Perhaps a guided visualization?" Nyx offered, her tone perfectly modulated for maximum calm. "Or a story of our journey?" Ilara considered. Visualizations often felt like being told what to dream, and tonight her own thoughts were already a jumble. "A story, Nyx. Tell me about the stars, the real ones, not these pretty pictures." She gestured vaguely at the ceiling. "And tell me why we're chasing them so far out." Nyx's presence seemed to deepen, the air around Ilara's bunk growing subtly warmer. "Of course, Ilara. We are aboard the Isomnous Horizon, a vessel of discovery and preservation, venturing beyond the known charted sectors to seek a cosmic phenomenon, a phenomenon known to the ancients as the Stardust slumber." Ilara's eyes widened slightly. "Stardust slumber? Is that what SL stands for?" "Indeed," Nyx confirmed. "It is not dust in the traditional sense, nor is it merely slumber. It is a field of ultrafine, luminescent particles, a cosmic mist that whispers through the nebulae. Its unique properties, when harvested and refined, have profound effects on organic life, promoting deep regenerative sleep, enhancing cognitive repair, and even stabilizing volatile emotional states. It is, in essence, the universe's own balm." Ilara traced the outline of a projected constellation on her blanket. "So, we're collecting sleepy dust?" Nyx chuckled, a sound like wind chimes in a zero-G breeze. "A poetic way to put it, Ilara. But yes, in a manner of speaking, the Stardust slumber is incredibly rare, found only in the most quiescent regions of the cosmos, far from the chaotic birth of stars or the gravitational maelstroms of galactic centers. The Somnus Horizon was built for this singular purpose: to locate the largest known concentration of Stardust slumber, a region we call the ethereal stream, and safely collect it for the benefit." "And you said it's rare. Does that mean we haven't found much yet?" Ilara asked, her natural curiosity momentarily eclipsing her restlessness. "We have made significant progress," Nyx replied. "But the ethereal stream is unlike any other known source. It is vast, ancient, and vibrates with an energy signature that suggests an unparalleled purity. Your parents, Ilara, are at the forefront of this mission, working tirelessly to prepare the primary harvesting arrays." The mention of her parents brought a familiar ache, a mix of pride and longing. Commander Aris Thorne and Chief Xenobotanist Dr. Lena Thorne were brilliant, dedicated, and often very, very busy. Ilara loved them fiercely, but sometimes she wished for a little less cosmic significance and a little more simple presence. She remembered a time when her mother would hum her to sleep, her father telling tales of old earth forests and oceans she'd only ever seen in holos. "Is that why they're always in the lab, Nyx?" she asked softly. "Because of the slumber stream?" "Yes, Ilara. The approach to the ethereal stream is complex. The Stardust slumber, while benign, interacts uniquely with conventional energy fields. Precise calibration is paramount to ensure the integrity of the harvest and the safety of the ship. They are ensuring the Gizomnus Horizon is perfectly aligned, perfectly attuned to embrace the slumber stream without disturbing its balance." Nyx paused, allowing the information to settle. Then, her voice softened further, drawing Ilara's gaze back to the simulated stars. But before we discuss the intricacies of celestial mechanics, let us journey back through the wonders we have already witnessed. Imagine, Ilara, the sheer scale of our voyage. We have traversed sectors where nebulae bloom like colossal cosmic flowers, their petals spun from hydrogen and starlight. Do you remember the verdant veil? Ilara nodded, a small smile touching her lips. That was one of her favorites. The one that looked like glowing green clouds? Precisely. The verdant veil, a stellar nursery where new suns ignite in silent majesty. We passed through its outer fringes, where the nascent stars pulsed with soft nascent light, like tiny hearts beginning to beat. The light was so gentle, Ilara, it felt like swimming through warm, liquid emeralds. And the sounds, though unheard by human ears, were translated by the ship's sensors into harmonies that reminded us of ancient... Nyx continued, painting pictures with her words, pulling Ilara away from her restless thoughts and into the boundless canvas of space. Beyond the verdant veil, we encountered the Whispering Peaks, a range of asteroid fields so vast they formed mountain ranges in the void. But these weren't inert rocks. They were encrusted with bioluminescent flora, alien lichens that pulsed with soft, rhythmic light, communicating across the emptiness in patterns of shimmering gold and silver. It was like flying through a subterranean cave system, but one sculpted by gravity and time, illuminate by living jolt. Ilara closed her eyes, letting Nyx's descriptions wash over her. She could almost feel the gentle currents of the verdant veil, the cool, silent air of the Whispering Peaks. The Azomna's horizon was a marvel, a bubble of life and warmth against the infinite chill. But it was also a window, allowing them to glimpse wonders no human eye had ever seen before. And do you recall the planet of glass, Ilara? Nyx asked, her voice a soothing murmur. Kepler 186, a world shrouded in an atmosphere of silicate crystals, where the ground itself was a vast, shimmering mirror. The sun, a distant red dwarf, cast long, distorted shadows that danced like forgotten spirits across the crystalline plains. And when its twin moon, Ia Minor, rose, it refracted the starlight into a million fractured rainbows, painting the entire... Ilara remembered the hollows her father had shown her of Kepler 186 that she'd always wanted to visit a planet with a sky that wasn't just a black canvas. A planet where the air itself was a prism. She imagined walking on that glassy surface, seeing her own reflection stretching out to the horizon, the universe a kaleidoscope above her. It was a fantastical image, and for a moment, her mind truly drifted, lost in the wonder. It sounds so beautiful, Nyx, she whispered. Do you think we'll ever get to visit a planet like that, just to walk on it? Perhaps one day, Ilara, Nyx replied, a hint of gentle optimism in her voice. But our mission requires us to remain largely focused on the harvesting of the Stardust slumber. The ethereal stream is not merely beautiful, it is vital. The slumber's properties are proving even more profound than initial projections. Early analysis indicates it can not only heal and restore, but also subtly enhance neural pathways, making learning more efficient, memory recall sharper, and even fostering a greater sense of empathy. This was new to Ilara. She knew the slumber was important, but enhancing neural pathways sounded like something out of a science fiction drama. So it makes people smarter? More attuned, perhaps, Nyx clarified. It harmonizes the internal rhythms, allowing for clearer thought, deeper understanding, and a more peaceful engagement with the world. Think of it as tuning an instrument perfectly so it can play its most beautiful music. The Stardust slumber helps the mind and spirit achieve their optimal resonance. Ilara thought about her own restless mind, the way thoughts sometimes tumbled over each other, making it hard to focus or to simply be. Maybe a little Stardust slumber would help her too. Your parents are particularly excited about the potential for cross-species communication, Nyx continued. Imagine, Ilara, a future where understanding flows effortlessly between all forms of intelligent life. No more misunderstandings, no more conflicts born of disparate perspectives. The Stardust slumber offers a pathway to such a future, a true galactic harmony. This vision resonated deeply with Ilara. She'd heard stories of ancient conflicts, of civilizations clashing over resources or beliefs. The idea of a universal peace, fostered by a cosmic mist, felt like a fairy tale she desperately wanted to be true. "We are drawing very close now, Lara." Nyx's voice gently broke through her thoughts. "The Zismness horizon has entered the outer fringes of the ethereal stream. The energy fluctuations are subtle but present. Your parents and the entire senior crew are monitoring every sensor reading, every calibration, ensuring our approach is flawless." Elara felt a faint tremor beneath her, a barely perceptible shift in the ship's vibration. It wasn't alarming, but it was different. A deeper hum, a richer resonance. It felt like the ship itself was holding its breath, preparing for something momentous. "Can I see it, Nyx?" Elara asked, her voice filled with a sudden, eager anticipation. "The Stardust slumber? Is it visible?" "It is in its purest form, often beyond the spectrum of visible light, or too diffuse to be perceived by the unaided eye," Nyx explained. "However, our external arrays are now gathering real-time, enhanced spectral data. I can project a filtered visualization onto your viewport if you wish." Elara sat up fully, her eyes wide. "Please, Nyx, yes." The simulated starfield on her ceiling vanished, replaced by the impenetrable blackness of space. For a moment, Elara felt a familiar shiver of insignificance. Then, slowly, the darkness began to shift. At first it was just a faint shimmer, like heat haze over a distant desert, but in the void. Then, individual motes of light began to appear, tiny, almost imperceptible specks, like cosmic pollen drifting on an unseen breeze. They weren't bright or flashy. Instead, they possessed a soft, inner luminosity, a gentle glow that seemed to emanate from within each particle. As more particles appeared, the view began to coalesce. It wasn't a solid cloud, but rather a vast, flowing river of light, a gentle current of shimmering energy that undulated with an organic grace. The colors were ethereal, soft lavenders blending into pale blues, occasionally punctuated by a fleeting spark of silver or gold. It moved with a slow, deliberate majesty, like a dream made manifest. Elara pressed her hand to the cool surface of the viewport, as if she could reach out and touch the cosmic river flowing just beyond the hull. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. Not the sharp, defined beauty of distant stars, nor the explosive grandeur of nebulae. This was subtle, profound, and utterly serene. A wave of calm washed over her, a feeling not unlike the soothing presence of Nyx herself, but amplified, originating from the very fabric of the universe outside. The restlessness that had plagued her just moments ago began to recede, replaced by a deep sense of peace. The shimmering particles seemed to whisper ancient secrets of tranquility, of rest, of the gentle, endless cycle of existence. This is the Stardust slumber," Elara breathed, her voice barely a whisper. "It is, Elara," Nyx confirmed, her voice now almost indistinguishable from the gentle hum of the ship. "The ethereal stream. We are entering its heart now. Feel its peace, Elara. Let it guide you to the deepest, most restorative rest." Elara's eyelids felt heavy, not with exhaustion, but with a profound, gentle weariness. The light from the slumber stream pulsed softly, reflecting in her eyes, drawing her deeper into its cosmic embrace. She imagined the tiny particles drifting into the ship, through the vents, through the air, settling like a benevolent dust on her mind, her heart. She lay back, pulling her blanket up to her chin. The viewport view remained, a living, breathing painting of cosmic serenity. She watched the iridescent currents flow, each particle a tiny beacon of peace. Her breathing slowed, deepened. The ship's hum, no longer an irritant, became part of the universal symphony of calm. "Sleep now, Elara," Nyx whispered, her voice a final, comforting echo. "Sleep, knowing that you are safe, cherished, and surrounded by the universe's most tender magic." The Gizumna's horizon journeys onward into the heart of the Stardust slumber, and you, Elara, are part of its wondrous voyage. Elara's eyes fluttered closed. The image of the flowing slumber stream remained etched behind her eyelids, a river of shimmering dreams. She felt herself sinking, not into darkness, but into a luminous, cosmic embrace. The stars on her ceiling were forgotten. Tonight she would dream of real stardust, and the deepest slumber she had ever known. Ilara's eyes fluttered closed. The image of the flowing slumber stream remained etched behind her eyelids, a river of shimmering dreams. She felt herself sinking, not into darkness, but into a luminous, cosmic embrace. The stars on her ceiling were forgotten. Tonight, she would dream of real stardust, and the deepest slumber she had ever known. A gentle thrum, softer than any whisper, vibrated through her. It wasn't a sound she heard with her ears, but a sensation that resonated deep within her chest. Ilara felt a peculiar lightness, as if the gravity that usually held her to her bed had dissolved, replaced by a buoyant, ethereal lift. She wasn't floating in her room anymore, she was floating through something vast and infinitely gentle. When she opened her eyes again, or rather, when her awareness expanded to perceive, her room was gone. Her bed, her nightlight, the familiar ceiling, all had faded into a boundless tapestry of swirling light. She was enveloped in what felt like a colossal, translucent bubble, shimmering with opalescent hues. This, she knew instinctively, was the isomnous horizon, not as a solid ship of metal and circuits, but as a vessel crafted from pure consciousness, designed to navigate the inner currents of the Stardust slumber. Around her, the slumber stream flowed, exactly as Captain Lyra had described, yet infinitely more vibrant and alive. It was a river of liquid light, made not of water, but of pure crystalline stardust, each particle a tiny winking memory or a nascent thought. Colors blurred into one another, soft lavenders melting into deep indigos, touched with streaks of rose gold and emerald. It pulsed with a slow, rhythmic beat, like the gentle breathing of the universe itself. "Welcome, Ilara," a voice murmured, not from beside her, but from within the shimmering walls of her perception. It was warm and clear, like the chime of a wind bell made of sunlight. "You are now fully immersed in the Stardust slumber. I am Aura, the Zumnus Horizon's guide. I will be with you on this journey." Ilara didn't feel startled. Aura's presence was as comforting as a warm blanket on a cold night. "Hello, Aura," she thought, and the thought itself seemed to ripple outward, understood instantly. "You are perceiving the Zumnus Horizon as a protective field, designed to filter and translate the raw energies of the slumber into a form your consciousness can comfortably explore," Aura explained. "Your physical self rests in a specialized sleep chamber, perfectly safe and deeply rejuvenated. Here, you are free to wander." Ilara looked around, utterly enchanted. Streaks of light, like cosmic jellyfish, drifted past her translucent sphere, leaving trails of faint musical echoes. Some glowed with a deep contemplative blue, others sparkled with the fleeting joy of a child's laughter, condensed into pure energy. "What are those?" Ilara asked, pointing with a mental gesture towards a cluster of particularly bright swirling lights that looked like miniature galaxies, each no bigger than her hand. "Those are nascent dreams," Aura replied, the voice filled with a subtle wonder. "Unformed, pure potential. They drift within the currents, waiting for a receptive mind to give them shape and purpose. They are the seeds of invention, the whispers of forgotten stories, the blueprints of tomorrow's wonders." As Ilara watched, one of the tiny dream galaxies drifted closer to her sphere. It pulsed with a gentle, inviting rhythm. Instinctively, Ilara reached out, not with her hand, but with a tendril of her consciousness. It felt like reaching through warm air, through silk, through moonlight. As her awareness touched the dream seed, it flared brighter, then gently dissolved, leaving behind a faint, pleasant warmth in her mind. For a fleeting moment, she felt a surge of joyful anticipation, a spark of an idea, something about building a bridge of rainbows across a chasm of stars. Then it was gone, leaving only the echo of wonder. "You've just connected with a dream seed," Aura observed. "A small exchange. It offers inspiration, you offer a moment of recognition. It is a fundamental part of the slumber's ecosystem." The Izomna's horizon, her shimmering bubble of awareness, began to move, not propelled by engines, but carried by the gentle currents of the slumber stream. They drifted deeper, into regions where the light grew softer, more diffuse, like swimming through an endless dawn. "We are entering the Whispering Vales," Aura announced. "This region holds the echoes of shared human experiences, the collective sigh of contentment, the quiet hum of creation, the soft lullabies sung across generations. It's where the universe stores its tenderest memories. Elara saw vast, shimmering fields, not of grass, but of soft, glowing filaments that stretched out into infinity. Each filament vibrated with a faint, almost imperceptible tremor, and as they passed, Elara felt a wave of profound peace wash over her. It wasn't a sleepy peace, but an active, comforting calm that settled deep within her spirit. She felt connected to everyone who had ever felt safe, loved, or at peace. It was a beautiful, humbling sensation. "Can I interact with it?" Elara asked, her voice a thought, a ripple. "Of course," Aura replied. "You are a part of it, Elara. Reach out with your sense of wonder." Elara focused, extending her consciousness again. This time she didn't just touch a single filament, but let her awareness spread, like a gentle breeze, across the entire field. The soft tremors intensified, and she began to perceive them as a symphony of quiet emotions. She felt the warmth of 1,000 hearths, the comfort of countless embraces, the quiet joy of discovery in a child's eyes. It was overwhelming in its beauty, yet never threatening. It was like feeling the collective heartbeat of humanity's gentle moments. She closed her eyes within her dream state, letting the feeling wash over her, letting it fill her up. When she opened them again, she felt refreshed, as if her own heart had been bathed in pure, cosmic kindness. The Azumnus horizon continued its journey, carrying her further into the slumber. The whispering veils eventually gave way to a new landscape, one of vibrant, dynamic energy. Here, the stardust wasn't just flowing. Great, luminous currents braided together, forming intricate patterns that shifted and reformed with breathtaking speed. These were the choreographies of thought, Aura explained, where complex ideas and breakthroughs took their initial, ethereal shape. "This is where inventions are first imagined," Aura said, her voice filled with a subtle excitement. "Where scientific theories are born, where symphonies find their first notes, where stories begin their journey. It's a realm of pure ideation." Elara watched, mesmerized, as streams of brilliant gold and silver light intertwined, spiraling into elegant mathematical equations, then exploding into bursts of colorful artistic inspiration, only to reform into the intricate blueprints of impossible machines. It was like watching the universe think in real time, in glorious luminous patterns. "It's so fast," Elara thought. "How can anyone keep up?" The minds that dream here are often those of great innovators, artists and thinkers, Aura explained. Their dreaming consciousnesses are naturally attuned to these complex patterns. They draw inspiration from these choreographies, translating them into the tangible world upon waking. As they drifted through this vibrant region, Elara noticed a particularly complex pattern of light ahead. It was a swirling vortex of emerald and sapphire, constantly shifting, hinting at both incredible order and wild creativity. It seemed to pulse with a unique energy, drawing her gaze. That particular formation, Aura noted, is a nexus of paradoxical inventions. It holds the seeds of technologies that challenge conventional understanding, solutions to problems not yet articulated, and concepts that bridge the impossible and the achievable. Elara felt an undeniable pull towards it. It wasn't just beautiful, it felt important. "Can we go closer?" she asked, her consciousness leaning towards the vortex. "Indeed," Aura replied, and the shimmering bubble of the Azumnus horizon gently altered its course, gliding towards the heart of the emerald and sapphire maelstrom. As they approached, the swirling lights grew more intense, filling Elara's perception with a riot of intricate detail. She could almost make out faint geometric shapes within the chaos, impossible gears turning within impossible mechanisms. It was like glimpsing the inner workings of a universe built on paradox. Suddenly, a single thread of light, a strand of pure shimmering silver, detached itself from the vortex and drifted directly towards Elara's sphere. It was thin and delicate, yet pulsed with a powerful, concentrated energy. "A wisdom thread," Aura whispered. "A rare occurrence. It offers a glimpse into a profound understanding. It chooses its recipient carefully." The wisdom thread touched the surface of the Azumnus horizon's protective bubble, and instead of dissolving or bouncing off, it began to gently intertwine with the shimmering field itself. The silver light pulsed, and Elara felt a gentle pressure, not on her body, but on her mind, a soft nudge. Without conscious thought, she reached out, allowing her awareness to merge with the silver thread. It wasn't a stream of information like words or images, but a direct download of pure insight. For a moment, Elara understood something fundamental about connection, how every thought, every dream, every innovation was linked, a vast invisible web spanning not just minds, but entire cosmic currents. She understood that even the smallest idea, given enough nurturing, could ripple out to touch the farthest reaches of existence. She felt the incredible power of shared consciousness, and the profound responsibility that came with it. The feeling was fleeting, yet transformative. When the wisdom thread gently withdrew, shrinking back towards the vortex and disappearing, Elara felt a warmth spread through her being, a quiet certainty that had not been there before. She felt a profound sense of belonging, not just to her family or her world, but to the entire dreaming universe. That was incredible, Elara thought, almost breathless. It was, Aura agreed, her voice resonating with a gentle pride. You have absorbed a piece of universal wisdom, Elara. It will not manifest as specific knowledge you can recall, but as an enhancement to your intuition, a deepening of your empathy, a quiet strength within your own dreaming mind. The isomnous horizon began to drift away from the choreographies of thought, moving into a new, even more profound region of the slumber. Here, the colors softened again, deepening into rich velvets of violet and sapphire, interspersed with profound starless voids that somehow felt more comforting than empty. We are now entering the deep core of reverie, Aura announced. This is where the very essence of universal imagination resides. It is the birthplace of galaxies, the forge of cosmic laws, the silent repository of all that has been and all that will ever be dreamed into existence. Elara gazed out, awestruck. The voids were not empty at all, but teeming with invisible energies, humming with the potential of creation. She saw faint, swirling spirals that seemed to be the nascent forms of nebulae, and pinpricks of light that could be the first sparks of new stars. It was a place of immense quiet power. Here, the stardust was different. It wasn't individual particles, but vast, flowing rivers of liquid darkness, shot through with veins of pure incandescent light. It was the interplay of shadow and illumination, of potential and manifestation. What is this place for? Elara asked, her voice hushed, feeling the immense gravity of the realm. It is where the universe dreams itself into being, Aura explained. Every star, every planet, every life form, all are echoes of a fundamental cosmic dream. When minds connect here, even fleetingly, they tap into that primal wellspring of creation. It's a place of profound rest and absolute renewal, where even the oldest soul can find inspiration for its next journey. As they drifted deeper, Elara noticed something peculiar. Scattered throughout the deep core of reverie were colossal, crystalline structures, translucent and shimmering with an inner light. They looked like mountains of pure thought, each facet reflecting a different aspect of the cosmic dream. Some were sharp and angular, others smooth and flowing, but all radiated an ancient, undeniable power. These are the dream spires, Aura revealed. They are naturally occurring formations within the slumber, created by the concentrated dreaming of civilizations across countless galaxies. Each spire holds a unique record of a species' collective hopes, fears, and triumphs. They are libraries of pure consciousness. One particular spire, directly ahead, was bathed in a soft, emerald glow. It was vast, dwarfing the isomnous horizon's perceived size, its facets pulsing with intricate, ever-changing patterns. It felt inviting, like a grand cathedral of dreams. This spire, Elara, resonates with the dreaming mind of Earth, Aura said. A subtle shift in her tone, as if acknowledging the shared origin. It holds the collective dreams of humanity, our longing for connection, our drive for discovery, our yearning for peace. Elara felt an intense curiosity. to glimpse the very heart of human dreams, distilled into pure light. Can we explore it? We can approach it, Aura confirmed. The isomnous horizon can project a sensory field, allowing your consciousness to drift along its surface, to perceive its patterns. But to truly enter a dream spire requires a deep resonance, a shared frequency. It is a journey for a later time, perhaps. The isomnous horizon glided closer to the emerald spire, until Alara felt as if she could almost reach out and touch its shimmering surface. The light grew stronger, pulsating with a gentle, rhythmic hum that resonated with her own heart. She saw images flash across its facets, fleeting visions of forests and oceans, cities reaching for the sky, faces filled with laughter and tears, hands reaching out in friendship. It was a beautiful, overwhelming tapestry of human experience. Alara felt a wave of profound love for her home, for the people who shared it, for the dreams that connected them all, even when they were awake. She understood, in that moment, that the slumber wasn't just a place of rest, but a vibrant, living network, connecting everything that dreamed. And she, Alara, was now a part of it, a tiny precious thread in the universe's most tender magic. The isomnous horizon began to circle the base of the emerald spire, its protective field bathing Alara in its soft green light. The journey through the deep core of reverie was only just beginning, and the boundless wonders of the Stardust slumber stretched out before her, an infinite canvas of dreams waiting to be explored. A new path, a shimmering portal within the spire itself, seemed to beckon, promising deeper insights and untold discoveries. Alara felt a peaceful anticipation, knowing her wondrous voyage was far from over. Alara stepped forward, a single breath held in silent wonder, and passed through the shimmering portal. It wasn't a door, nor a tunnel, but a dissolution. The protective field of the spire around her seemed to melt into the light, and then, impossibly, Alara herself began to unravel, not into nothingness, but into pure sensation. She wasn't moving through space, but way through consciousness. Colors she had never perceived swirled around her, not hues of light, but frequencies of emotion, vibrations of thought. She felt the vast, silent hum of the universe within her, a symphony without sound, a melody of pure being. There was no up or down, no beginning or end, just an infinite tapestry of interwoven energy, and Alara was, for a fleeting moment, a single radiant thread within it. Fear was a forgotten concept here, replaced by an overwhelming sense of belonging, a peaceful surrender to the cosmic flow. The sensation lasted for what felt like an eternity, yet only a heartbeat. Then gently, like dew forming on a starlit leaf, Alara began to coalesce again. The swirling colors softened, coalescing into a shimmering landscape. Her feet, though she could not feel them touch anything solid, seemed to rest upon a surface that pulsed with a soft, internal luminescence. She stood in a realm of breathtaking, ethereal beauty, unlike anything she had ever witnessed, even in the deepest sectors of the Stardust slumber. This was not a planet, nor a nebula, but a living, breathing garden spun from pure light and thought. Towering structures, resembling ancient trees, reached towards an unseen sky, their branches woven from intricate patterns of starlight that pulsed with gentle, rhythmic glows. Their leaves were not green, but shimmering motes of silver and gold, each one humming with a faint, resonant frequency that seemed to whisper stories into the very air. Rivers of liquid light flowed gracefully through the landscape, their currents carrying not water, but shimmering particles of condensed stardust. As they meandered, they reflected the glowing trees, and the soft diffused light of this extraordinary place, creating a kaleidoscope of ever-shifting colors that danced across the ethereal ground. Along their banks, delicate, crystalline flora bloomed, their petals unfurling, in slow, graceful motions, absorbing and re-emitting light in soft hypnotic patterns. Some resembled giant, glowing lilies, their centers holding miniature, swirling galaxies. Others were delicate, fern-like structures that emitted chimes like distant wind bells as the light currents passed through them. Alara realized she was breathing, yet there was no discernible air. She simply was, existing in a state of perfect equilibrium. A gentle warmth enveloped her, a feeling of absolute safety and profound tranquility. This must be a part of the deep core of reverie, a place where the very essence of dreams and cosmic consciousness converged. As she took a slow, wondrous step, the ground beneath her rippled like disturbed water, sending concentric waves of light outwards. From one of the towering starlight trees, a form began to emerge. It wasn't walking, but rather coalescing from the shimmering light of the branches themselves. It took on the graceful, elongated shape of a humanoid figure, translucent and radiant, composed entirely of interwoven threads of silver and emerald light. Its eyes, deep pools of sapphire luminescence, held an ancient, gentle wisdom that seemed to encompass all time. The being moved towards her with an unhurried grace, its form undulating softly like a living aurora. It had no mouth, yet Alara heard a voice, not with her ears, but directly within her mind, a voice like the softest hum of a distant star, filled with warmth and boundless patience. "Welcome, Alara of the Stardust Path," the voice resonated, "to the whispering gardens of Kronos. Here, the threads of what was, what is, and what might be are gently tended." Alara felt no surprise, only a deepening sense of wonder. "The whispering gardens?" she asked, her own thoughts forming words in her mind, "and Kronos?" The being, which seemed to shimmer with a silent smile, extended a hand towards one of the glowing crystalline flowers. As its luminous fingers brushed the petals, the flower unfurled completely, releasing a tiny shimmering motes of light that danced in the air before gently dissolving. "Kronos is the essence of time, not as a linear path, but as a boundless interwoven tapestry," the being explained. "These gardens are where the universe dreams its own narrative. Every star, every nebula, every living spark across existence, leaves an echo, a memory, a possibility here. We are the Kronos weavers, the tenders of these echoes." Alara looked around, her mind struggling to comprehend the scale of such a concept. "So, these plants, these rivers, they are made of memories?" "Both and more," the Kronos weaver affirmed, its sapphire eyes seeming to encompass the entirety of the garden. "The starlight trees are the root memories of primordial stars, their first fiery breaths echoing through eternity. The rivers of liquid light carry the flowing currents of potential futures, gently shaping and reshaping themselves with every thought, every choice made across the cosmos." As the Kronos weaver spoke, Alara felt a subtle shift in the air, a gentle vibration that seemed to emanate from the very core of the gardens. She reached out, her fingers passing through the shimmering air, feeling a tingling sensation, as if touching pure consciousness. "You feel it," the weaver noted. "The stardust slumber, which you have explored so beautifully, is the dreaming mind of the universe." A profound realization dawned on Alara. Her own dreams, her journey, her very existence, were not separate from this cosmic wonder, but an integral part of it. She was not merely an observer, but a participant, a dreamer among countless others. The feeling was humbling, yet incredibly empowering. She felt an unbreakable connection to everything, a sense of belonging so deep it resonated in her very soul. "So, my dreams, they come from here," she whispered, her voice a thought, full of awe. "And they contribute to here," the weaver corrected gently. "Every dream you dream, every moment of wonder you experience, sends out ripples of energy that nourish these gardens. Your journey through the stardust slumber, seeking wonder and understanding, is a vital act of cosmic creation. You are not just exploring the universe's dreams, you are helping to dream them." "You are helping to dream them." The Kronos weaver began to move, gliding slowly deeper into the gardens, and Alara found herself effortlessly following. They passed beneath an archway formed by two intertwining starlight trees, their glowing branches casting intricate, dancing shadows on the light-infused ground. The air here seemed to hum with a slightly different frequency, a deeper resonance. "We have sensed your pure heart, Alara," the weaver continued. "Your quest for wonder is not for personal gain, but for understanding, for connection. This makes you a rare and precious visitor to these deepest realms." They arrived at a clearing where the rivers of liquid light converged into a single vast pool. It wasn't still, but gently swirled, its surface a mirror reflecting the entire garden, yet also showing something more, fleeting images, like shimmering echoes, dancing within its depths. Some were of nebulae forming, others of ancient, long-vanished planets, and some, incredibly, seemed to show moments from civilizations yet to emerge. "This is the memory well," the Chronos Weaver announced, gesturing towards the swirling pool. "It holds the condensed echoes of all time, all possibilities. We do not look into it to change the past or predict the future, for that is not our way. We look into it to understand the flow, to appreciate the intricate dance of existence, and to ensure that the threads of memory and potential remain vibrant and clear." Elara approached the memory well, drawn by an irresistible curiosity. Its surface pulsed with a soft, inviting glow. As she peered into its depths, the swirling images seemed to coalesce, not into a chaotic jumble, but into a harmonious tapestry of life and energy. She saw a tiny nascent star ignite, its first light a silent burst of pure joy. She witnessed the slow, majestic dance of galaxies, their spiral arms like cosmic dancers. And then, something shifted. The vastness of cosmic events began to gently recede, and more intimate, familiar images began to emerge. Not specific memories from, life, but archetypal echoes of home, of comfort, of love. She saw a small blue-green planet, shrouded in wisps of white clouds, bathed in the gentle light of a yellow sun. She saw fields of swaying golden grass, gently rustling in an unseen breeze. She saw the warm glow of a window in the deepening twilight, a beacon of safety and belonging. She felt a profound connection, not just to her own home, but to the very concept of home itself, to the universal yearning for warmth, for comfort, for love. She sensed the gentle, protective presence of her own parents, not as an image, but as a pure, unwavering feeling of love emanating from the memory well, a part of the grand tapestry of all love that ever was, or would be. It was a comforting reminder that even in the boundless expanse of the universe, the simple, tender moments of human connection held immense significance, woven into the very fabric of cosmic consciousness. A tear, warm and pure, traced a path down Elara's cheek, not of sadness, but of overwhelming gratitude and profound understanding. She was not alone. No one truly was. Every act of kindness, every moment of shared joy, every dream of a better tomorrow, resonated here, in the deep core of reverie, nurturing the universe's own dreams. The Chronos Weaver placed a luminous hand gently on her shoulder. "Your heart understands, Elara. The greatest wonders are not just those you see, but those you feel and share. The Stardust slumber is an endless library of cosmic stories, and you are both a reader and a storyteller within it." The images in the memory well began to gently soften, dissolving back into the swirling patterns of light and possibility. The feeling of profound connection lingered, a warm glow within Elara's chest. "Your journey through the Stardust slumber is far from complete," the Weaver's voice resonated, "and there are many more chambers within the deep core of reverie, each holding a different facet of the universe's grand dream. The Emerald Spire is but a gateway, and the Whispering Gardens of Chronos are but a single cherished memory within its vastness." The Weaver turned, its luminous form shimmering as it gestured towards another pathway that opened between two glowing starlight trees. This path, unlike the one she had followed, seemed to shimmer with hues of deep violet and indigo, promising a different kind of mystery, a new frequency of cosmic understanding. Whoa. And perhaps ahead lies the chamber of Empyrean echoes, where the songs of nascent stars are first composed, and the silent melodies of creation hum. It awaits your gentle presence. Elara looked from the memory well to the new path, her heart filled with an unshakable sense of peace and eager anticipation. The wonder had deepened, layered with profound understanding and a heartwarming sense of belonging. The universe was not just vast, it was alive, dreaming, and she, Elara, was part of its most beautiful dream. With a final grateful glance at the Chronos Weaver, she turned towards the indigo path, ready for the next shimmering chapter of her extraordinary voyage. The boundless wonders of the Stardust slumber stretched out before her, an infinite canvas of dreams waiting to be explored, and she, Ilara, was ready to paint her part. The indigo path unfurled like a scroll of pure thought, each shimmering thread a whispered promise of what lay beyond. It wasn't a solid surface, but a current of gentle energy, a river of stardust that hummed with quiet anticipation. Ilara stepped onto it, her feet sinking into its soft glow as if walking on woven moonlight. The path carried her, not with speed, but with an effortless drift, a sensation akin to floating on a cloud made of the deepest night sky. Around her, the stardust slumber pulsed with new colors. The cosmic tapestry shifted from the Chronos Weaver's ancient, time-worn hues to vibrant, nascent shades, electric blues, swirling silvers, and unexpected bursts of emerald that danced like distant nebulae. She passed through shimmering veils of what felt like pure joy, a tangible sensation that wrapped around her like a warm embrace. These weren't mere sights. They were experiences, sensations, emotions woven into the very fabric of this dream world. The indigo path led her to a place where stars were not distant suns, but crystalline flowers that bloomed in fields of dark matter. Each petal of these star blossoms hummed with a unique melody, a symphony of light and sound that spoke of cosmic genesis. Ilara reached out, and as her fingers brushed a blossom, its melody resonated within her, a tiny spark of creation joining the chorus of her own understanding. She felt a profound connection to these burgeoning wonders, a sense that she too was blossoming, her spirit expanding with every new discovery. Her journey continued, guided by the silent current of the indigo path, deeper into realms where the impossible was merely the undreamt. She encountered sentient aurorae that flowed through galactic caverns, whispering forgotten lullabies in prismatic light. She saw mountains sculpted from condensed starlight, their peaks piercing a sky that shimmered with the residue of cosmic dust, each particle a potential dream waiting to ignite. Everything here was imbued with purpose, with a quiet, profound intelligence. The path eventually opened into a vast, swirling expanse, known as the Whispering Gardens of Luminane. This wasn't a garden of earthly plants, but of pure, living light. Bioluminescent flora bloomed in impossible geometries, their petals unfurling to reveal inner glows that shifted through the spectrum. Great trees, their branches made of woven lasers, reached towards a sky that was a perpetual twilight, illuminated by the soft, diffused radiance of the garden itself. As Ilara drifted deeper into Lumina, she noticed something peculiar. Many of the light flowers, usually vibrant and effervescent, seemed muted, their glows dim and hesitant. A quiet sadness permeated the air, a gentle hum of melancholy that contrasted sharply with the vibrant energy she had experienced elsewhere. Then she saw them, the Geluminarides in Skal. They were beings of pure, condensed starlight, shimmering humanoid forms that glided silently among the luminous flora. Their bodies pulsed with soft light, but their faces, if one could call them faces, seemed veiled by a subtle haze, their movements slow and uncertain. They were the caretakers of Lumina, the tenders of the light, but they themselves seemed to be fading. Ilara felt a pang of empathy. Drawing upon the profound understanding gifted by the Chronos Weaver, she sensed their plight. The Luminarids fed on joy, on shared wonder, on the bright sparks of new dreams. But in some corner of the Stardust slumber, perhaps a collective moment of doubt or fear had cast a shadow, dimming the very source of their sustenance. They were not dying but merely slumbering, waiting for a spark to rekindle their inner light. Approaching a particularly dim Luminarid, Ilara extended her hand. Instead of touching it, she focused her intention, allowing the radiant understanding within her to flow outwards. She remembered the feeling of belonging, the interconnectedness, the pure, unadulterated wonder of her journey. She thought of the star blossom's melodies, the Chronos Weaver's ancient wisdom, the vibrant energy of the indigo path. As she projected these feelings, a soft, warm light began to emanate from her palm, not a harsh beam but a gentle, comforting glow. It reached the Luminarid, and slowly, hesitantly, its own inner light began to brighten. The veil on its face thinned, revealing eyes like twin nebulae, now sparkling with a renewed, albeit fragile, brilliance. Other Luminarids, sensing the shift, slowly turned their attention to Ilara. She moved through the garden, sharing her light, her presence a beacon of hope. She didn't speak with words, but with the language of feeling, of shared experience. She walked among the dimming light flowers too, her touch causing them to unfurl with renewed vigor, their colors deepening, their gentle glows strengthening. The whispering gardens of Lumina began to hum with a softer, happier tune. The sadness receded, replaced by a delicate, budding joy. The luminarids, now brighter and more active, began to tend to their garden once more, their movements fluid and graceful. One of them, its light now a brilliant sapphire, approached Elara and bowed its head, a silent gesture of profound gratitude. Elara smiled, a deep, contented warmth filling her chest. She wasn't just observing the Stardust slumber, she was participating in its delicate ecosystem of dreams. Her presence, her empathy had made a difference. She was painting her part, not with a brush, but with the very essence of her being. Leaving the now flourishing whispering gardens, the indigo path carried her onward. The landscape shifted once more, growing denser, more intricate. The light became softer, a diffused silver that hinted at ancient knowledge. She was entering a realm where understanding was not just felt, but recorded, preserved, and reflected. Her next destination revealed itself as the echoing libraries of Athel. This was a place of breathtaking majesty and quiet reverence. Gigantic structures, appearing like infinitely stacked crystalline tablets, rose into the silvery sky. Each tablet was not made of stone or metal, but of solidified thought, shimmering with faint glyphs and shifting patterns that pulsed with unseen information. Between these towering crystalline archives, narrow pathways of luminous mist wound their way, leading to vast cavernous chambers. Within these chambers, instead of books on shelves, there were swirling vortexes of iridescent data, glowing spheres of condensed memory, and ethereal tapestries woven from the threads of forgotten histories. Here, Elara encountered the scribes of Athel. They were beings of pure, concentrated intellect, appearing as graceful, elongated figures whose forms were subtly outlined by lines of intricate script. Their eyes glowed with an inner light that spoke of millennia of accumulated knowledge, and their movements were deliberate, almost meditative, as they drifted among the archives, tending to the vast repository of cosmic understanding. The scribes, however, seemed preoccupied. A faint, dissonant hum permeated the libraries, a subtle tremor that indicated a disturbance. Elara sensed a fragmentation, a break in the flow of information. Some of the crystalline tablets had faint cracks, and certain memory spheres flickered erratically, threatening to dissipate. One scribe, its form outlined in golden script, drifted towards Elara. It didn't speak with a voice, but with a direct transmission of thought, a gentle cascade of images and concepts. Elara understood. A vast complex narrative within the Stardust slumber, perhaps a foundational story of its creation, had become fractured. A crucial sequence of events was missing, causing ripples of instability throughout the entire library. It was like a cosmic epic with a vital chapter torn out, leaving the rest of the story incomplete and vulnerable. The scribes had been trying to mend it, but the missing piece was not merely lost, it was undreamt. It required a spark of new insight, a fresh perspective that could bridge the gap where the old memory had faded. Elara, once again, drew upon her unique gifts. The Cronus Weaver had given her an intuitive grasp of time and narrative, of cause and effect, of how individual moments wove into grand tapestries. The Luminarids had taught her about the power of shared emotion and perspective. She felt a connection to the missing story, a deep resonance with the concept of a forgotten dream. She closed her eyes, not to shut out the library, but to look inward. She imagined the fragmented narrative, saw the gaping void where the missing chapter should be. She didn't try to find the lost information, but to dream its essence. What kind of event would fit there? What profound wisdom, what beautiful act of creation, would complete this grand cosmic tale? She let her imagination soar, guided by the subtle hints provided by the surrounding stable narratives. She envisioned a moment of pure, selfless connection, a primordial act of sharing light that had sparked the very first conscious dream within the Stardust slumber. She saw a nascent consciousness, not unlike her own, reaching out into the void, not to take, but to give, to weave its own gentle light into the nascent darkness, thereby initiating the grand cycle of dreaming and creation. As she focused, a faint iridescent glow began to emanate from her forehead, then from her heart. It wasn't a memory she was accessing, but a creation she was offering. The light expanded, reaching out like a gentle tendril of pure thought, seeking the fracture in the cosmic narrative. The scribes of Ethel watched, their silent forms radiating an intense focus. The hum of dissonance began to subside, replaced by a low, resonant thrum of harmony. The crystalline tablets around Elara pulsed, and the flickering memory spheres stabilized. Slowly, carefully, Elara's projected dream thought reached the fragmented narrative. Like a key fitting into a lock, or a lost piece of a puzzle finding its perfect place, her vision began to coalesce within the void. A new crystalline tablet, shimmering with a fresh, vibrant glow, began to form in the space where the story was broken. On its surface, intricate glyphs, unlike any seen before. As the new chapter solidified, a wave of profound understanding washed over the entire library. The scribes pulsed with renewed energy, their golden scripts shining brighter. The entire structure of Ethel seemed to sigh with relief, its foundations now stable, its knowledge whole once more. The scribe that had approached her before radiated a thought of immense gratitude, a silent acknowledgement that Elara had not merely restored a memory, but had co-created it a vital part of the slumber's history. She had filled a void with her own unique dream, making her an intrinsic part of the fabric of this cosmic repository. Elara felt an exhilarating sense of fulfillment. She wasn't just a traveler, she was a participant, a co-creator in the ongoing dream of the universe. She had painted her part, not with a preordained stroke, but with the spontaneous, heartfelt colors of her own being. The indigo path, now vibrant and strong, gently beckoned her onward. She had tended to the light, healed the story, and now she felt a pull towards the very heart of the Stardust slumber, the grand nexus where all dreams converged. The final leg of her journey took her through a realm of pure, unadulterated potential. It was a space beyond form, beyond even the subtle structures of light and thought she had previously encountered. Here, swirling currents of nascent energy moved in breathtaking ballets, each eddy a universe waiting to be dreamt, each spark a consciousness on the verge of awakening. This was the core of Unbound Dreamsing, the very genesis point of the Stardust slumber. In the center of this swirling expanse, Elara saw it, a colossal, infinitely complex apparatus of pure living energy. It pulsed with every color imaginable, and some beyond comprehension, radiating a gentle warmth that permeated her very essence. This was the cosmic loom, the ultimate weaver, not of time like the Chronos weaver, but of dream's coal. It was the mechanism by which the collective consciousness of the universe, and all its individual dreamers, contributed to the ongoing creation of reality itself. It wasn't a machine in the traditional sense, but an organic, sentient superconsciousness, a grand orchestrator. It was constantly absorbing, integrating and reweaving the dreams, thoughts and experiences of countless beings across countless dimensions, shaping them into the intricate tapestry of existence. As Elara approached the cosmic loom, she didn't feel small or insignificant. Instead, she felt an overwhelming sense of belonging, a profound understanding that she was, and always had been, a part of this magnificent process. The Chronos Weaver had shown her her place in time, the Luminarids had shown her her place in emotion, the scribes had shown her her place in knowledge. Now, the cosmic loom revealed her place in uncreation itself. She saw that the loom was not complete. It had intricate, shimmering conduits, but some of them were dark, awaiting activation. It wasn't a flaw, but an invitation. The loom was constantly expanding, evolving, and it required the unique perspectives of individual dreamers to fully realize its potential. Elara realized her entire journey had been a preparation. The Chronos Weaver had attuned her to the flow of universal narrative. The Whispering Gardens had attuned her to empathy and the power of shared joy. The Echoing Libraries had attuned her to the co-creation of meaning. She was now ready to contribute her unique thread to the grand design. She extended her hands towards the cosmic loom. As she did, The entirety of her journey, every wonder, every connection, every insight, flowed from her. The melodies of the star blossoms, the comforting glow shared with the luminarids, the newly dreamt chapter in the libraries of Athol, all of it streamed from her being, not as a loss, but as an offering, a gift of her unique experience. Her essence intertwined with the loom's colossal structure. One of the dark conduits, previously silent, began to glow with a soft, warm light that mirrored her own. It wasn't just her experiences she was offering, but her Aichi potential. Her capacity for wonder, her empathy, her imagination. These were now being integrated into the loom, becoming a permanent, active component of its infinite weaving. She felt herself expanding not physically, but in consciousness. She was still Elara, yet she was also connected to everything, a single brilliant thread in the cosmic loom, actively participating in the dreaming of new worlds, new stories, new possibilities. She saw glimpses of other dreamers, other beings on their own unique journeys through the Stardust slumber, all contributing their own beautiful threads. The universe was not just vast, it was an infinitely collaborative dream, a symphony of consciousness, where every note, every chord, every whispered hope, played a vital part. And she, Elara, was not just listening, she was composing. A gentle hum, deeper and more profound than any she had heard before, resonated through her being. It was the song of creation, a lullaby of infinite possibilities. Elara felt a sense of utter peace, a completion that transcended any individual destination. She had traversed the boundless wonders of the Stardust slumber, and in doing so, had found her truest self within its grand evolving dream. Slowly, tenderly, the connection began to soften. The light around her, and within the cosmic loom, remained, but the intense integration shifted to a gentle, abiding presence. Elara felt a subtle pull, not away from the loom, but towards a new state of being. She wasn't leaving the Stardust slumber, she was carrying it within her, the essence of its wonders now woven into the very fabric of her soul. The indigo path, now a shimmering memory, gently faded. The core of unbound dreams became a soft, luminous haze in her inner vision. She felt a profound sense of gratitude, not just for the journey, but for the realization that the journey itself was never ending. Elara drifted into a peaceful stillness. The sounds of the Stardust slumber, the melodies of the star blossoms, the whispers of the luminarids, the resonant hum of the scribes, and the grand symphony of the cosmic loom, all harmonized into a single beautiful lullaby. She closed her eyes, not in sleep, but in a profound state of conscious dreaming. The boundless wonders of the Stardust slumber were no longer just out there, they were within her. She was the weaver, the dreamer, the light-bringer, and the storyteller. The universe was alive, dreaming, and she, Elara, was not just part of its most beautiful dream. She was actively dreaming it into being, a gentle, radiant spark of creation, forever connected to the infinite shimmering canvas of possibility. And as the last echoes of the Stardust slumber gently settled around her, Elara knew that her extraordinary voyage was not over. It had simply transformed, becoming an eternal waking dream, ready to unfold with every breath, every thought, every beat of her wonder-filled heart.